Welcome to this edition of CBN News Showcase. I'm Charlene Aaron.
And I'm Mark Martin. Vice President Mike Pence sat down with CBN's David Brody for an exclusive interview. They discussed several topics looking at the first year for the new administration in the White House.
Pence spoke about the highs and lows of the first year in the Oval Office, including his priority for keeping America safe and the challenges, huge challenges of tragedies like hurricanes and mass shootings.
Year in review. I know you could go 10, 15, 20 minutes on this, but in the shorter version, the Reader's Digest version, what's been the highlight for you this year, whether it be legislatively or other, and what's been maybe one of the more challenging moments of the year? Some would say call it a low light, you may call it a more challenging moment. What would that be?
Well, I think the high point for me has been to serve as vice president to a president who's focused so much on the safety and security of the American people. President Trump has already signed the largest increase in military spending in a decade, and before the end of this year, we believe we'll make the largest investment in our national defense since the days of Ronald Reagan. With that renewed commitment, our armed forces are making extraordinary progress in the fight against radical Islamic terrorism. ISIS is on the run. Literally, the American armed forces and our allies have overtaken what just a few short years ago ISIS declared to be their capital of their so-called new caliphate in Raqqa. But to see the way this president has provided leadership as our commander-in-chief, his strong and swift decision to use American military power to respond to the use of chemical weapons against innocent civilians in Syria. I think it's sent a message to the world that America is back, that America has, in a very real sense, under President Trump, we've restored the credibility of American leadership. And as I've traveled around the world, I've heard it again and again, that leaders, whether it was when I traveled in Europe or the Asia Pacific or in South America, are grateful to see a president, to see an administration that's embracing our role as leader of the free world and providing our military with the focus on the mission of defeating ISIS. And for me, that progress is the proudest accomplishment of this administration during the year 2017.
And challenging moment of the year? What's been challenging for you?
Well, obviously the extraordinary impact of the hurricane season on Florida and Texas and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, and then the tragedies that we've seen in mass shootings in Las Vegas and in that small town in Texas. I know that it has been a real burden on the heart of our president and our family. But I must tell you that in the same breath, I would say, David, how proud we are of our first responders in the wake of those hurricanes, how proud we are of the job that FEMA has done at every level to come alongside families in those moments and help families rebuild. And President Trump has brought that optimism and that determination to tell people, we're with you today, we'll be with you tomorrow, and as we're proving every day that we're going to be with these communities every day as they rebuild. But those are the events. Those are the events that are heavy on the heart of those of us that have the privilege to serve.
I would be remiss without asking you about one of the big national stories this year, which is what's been going on as it relates to sexual harassment. So many people want to know, what's the solution? What's the answer? Where's the morality in all of this in terms of what can be done? Do you legislate it? Is it a cultural issue? What are some, can you help folks with some answers here about what's been, light has been shined on this topic, on this very important issue?
Well, as vice president and as the father of two really talented and wonderful young women, I think we're seeing real progress in our society today. Every American woman is entitled to a safe and productive workplace. And my heart goes out to the women who have endured sexual harassment in the workplace, and I admire their willingness and their courage in coming forward. But I think it's initiating a national conversation about practices in our businesses and in our public institutions that will make sure that women and men have the kind of work environment that is safe and respectful to all concerned. And I think the President and I both see that as progress.
Just a quick follow-up.